Hi everyone, welcome back to the Fash Life series. Today we have a really special episode. I'm here with two top influencers. Gizelle Mui from Muy Caliente blog, one of the top bloggers in the entire world, and Gregory Dava from Downtown Dava, who's also a top influencer. I'm gonna let them tell us a little bit about their experiences with wine.
Well, JC, my husband and I, Juan Carlo, in case you guys didn't know, they all know. JC and I recently just came back from Spain, and we've been traveling for 10 years now, so you've seen pretty much everything.
Gregory?
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me on the show
Of course,
today.
thank you so much for being
Super
here.
excited to be here. I love wine. It is one of the few constants in my life. I've been fortunate enough to wine taste in Paris, Florence, and in the caves in Croatia.
Wow. So the way this test came about is my husband, Mr. Pretty Little Shopper, before we got married, gave me a taste test. He gave me a $100 bottle of wine and a $10 bottle of wine, poured it without me looking at it, and probably if I didn't pass that test and know what the $100 bottle of wine was, we might not be married. So
I can tell by smell.
That's amazing. Our producer poured us 3 different wines with 3 very different price points, and we're going to see if we can taste the difference.
So this one first?
Then we're gonna do, we're gonna go with the...
Before we start, do you have a straw? I just, with my teeth.
Do we have
I don't
any...
really like staining.
Do we have any straw? No, actually, I'm sorry, we don't have a straw.
You know how it is, Gregory.
Yeah.
Like, with our teeth.
Sure.
Are you guys ready? So let's start with the gray. Should we smell it first?
Yes. It smells kind of cheap.
Okay. Santé.
Gambe. Okay.
What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna guess this is a bit on the cheaper end because it's very dry and red wines are known for being more herbaceous and full-bodied.
I concur. I feel like I taste mushroom, like plain white button mushrooms in this or something. Like they always talk about how the grapes and like everything that's around it goes into the vines and then that kind of comes out on the wine. And I feel like I taste mushrooms.
Really? I've never heard that. That's so funny. I don't taste mushrooms.
Oh,
I don't actually taste mushrooms either.
You don't?
No.
It's definitely in there. I can pretty much hands down say this is probably the cheapest wine.
Cool.
So this is our second wine. I feel like the color is definitely noticeably lighter, I think.
Oh yes, definitely.
So,
It almost is like a rosé.
okay.
Oh,
It's a lot smoother than the first one. It kind of glides across your tongue.
I like how it's, like you said, very smooth. This time I feel like I taste a little bit of lemongrass and a little bit of like, right, Gregory? Like,
No.
This feels very Argentinian wine to me.
Yeah, there's definitely not lemongrass in Argentinian wine.
I feel like lemongrass is actually a very pungent flavor, and this is definitely seeping through in this wine.
I think you're tasting some of your lunch.
I definitely did not have Vietnamese food today, but thank you.
Well, there you have it. I thought it was a lot sweeter than I thought it was going to be from like the light color, but I actually thought it was a little smoother than I was expecting.
Yeah, it was a smooth criminal.
I like it.
Funny. You're very funny, Gregory.
I try to be.
Yeah.
Third one?
Third one. It definitely looks richer than...
I can usually smell it. This smells rich. It smells expensive too.
Where did you learn that?
From 10 years of experience of tasting wine, trust me. It's, you want to air it out. It's almost like an air filtration that you're doing yourself.
With your mouth?
Exactly, because usually you want to like oxidize it through a carafe, but with this, like it kind of gives you like an instantaneous aerating. Yes, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Aerating.
Yeah.
I really like this.
I feel like it's really smooth. It's really nice.
I thought it was kind of acidic, to be honest.
It is acidic, but I think it comes from just being in those oak barrels that it sits in because the wood penetrates the red wine.
Cool.
What do we think is the most expensive?
I think it's left.
I'm gonna go with center.
I'm actually torn between, and it's funny because I think what's like throwing me off really is like the color here is so light, and I don't know. Oh, I kind of...
This one time, JC and I, we went to Santa Barbara. Of course, everything was like exactly the way that we wanted it to be. And, oh gosh, I think I chipped a nail.
Oh no.
I don't know, this wine color just reminds me of something that we had there, and it wasn't even their top notch. So I think the richer color one is the more expensive one.
What do you think?
I am so torn. I feel like I might get a divorce after this because my husband might break up with me because I get this wrong. But
I'm torn too. I think it's the middle one though.
okay, I think I'm gonna go with the middle one too.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go
With the blue.
With
Okay.
the blue, with the
All
left,
right.
because it matches my dress.
What do you think is the least expensive wine?
Oh, hands down.
Look, we agree
We
on
are all
something.
we are all in
Yes.
agreement. Okay.
You know what? For a moment, I was just like, I thought you were gonna be a fake. You know how many fakies there are these days, and so
Can't wait.
You know what, Lindsay? I'm really surprised.
It's actually Lisa.
Lisa, I'm really actually surprised that you actually have something. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that there's actually decent wine.
Okay then.
And that this is actually really good.
Oh, thank you so much. And we are gonna do our reveal.
Drum roll.
Here we go. This is kind of like the Oscars, right? All right.
The winner is.
The winner is. So the least expensive is the pink.
Oh.
Wow.
Chucky.
I am
Shocking.
shocked. I'm shocked. This is the
Told
Challis
you
Ring
guys.
Cabernet Sauvignon. $3.99 for a bottle.
Oh, Gregory, didn't it taste so?
You know, I like to pride myself on being humble.
Yes.
Moving on, we have our second most expensive wine is the blue one.
Oh.
So this is the Boulet Vineyard Rutherford.
Okay.
It's valued at $39 for a bottle.
Oh. Well, you know what, everyone? I've heard any bottle of wine over $20 is actually a really good bottle of wine. It could be $20 or $2,000. They're pretty much the same after that. And so this is a really good wine.
Wow, yes. And apparently, you cannot judge a book by its color or its taste because this wine right here, I guess I've had a little too much, is our expensive wine. This is our Rodney Strong Walkaway, valued at $95.99. Hope I don't get a divorce after this, getting this wrong.
I know, right? You know what? The mushrooms, I think it's truffle. I think it's black truffle. And you know what? It could be white truffle. White truffle is expensive, and that's exactly what I tasted, and that's why it's expensive. I did taste it. I called it out in the very beginning. Should have just gone with my first choice.
Like Caliente, she called it.
I did. I called it.
All right. Cheers!
Cheers!